thank you for joining me. Here we're going to review BigCommerce and how to use the Shogun page builder. The Shogun page builder pretty much built all the content on brand lighting, even so much as designing the pages in there and actually using the code for some of the custom templates. It does a remarkably good job at keeping page load speeds under control while managing a lot of assets really easily. So let's go take a look at it. You can find it on the back end at shop.brandlighting.manage. Once you log in, you will also be able to log directly into the app, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. It'll open up more of a full screen, I guess, but it's up to you, really. So go to Apps and Shogun Page Builder. Might take a second to load here, but otherwise it's pretty fast. So we can collapse this panel here. This gives us a pretty full screen view, so I'll leave it here, but if you go to getshogun.com/dashboard, you'll also be able to see the full screen app as well. Remember, it's just a standalone app that lives inside of the BigCommerce ecosystem. So all the pages are here, and they're actually all published on one page. So this includes all the migrated content, all the brand landing page content, as well as the blog content. And if we go up at the top, we can see we can sort by the pages. So under pages, we'll see all the migrated content, we'll see the brand pages, and we'll see any custom content that I developed specifically for modules in some other places. Under blog posts, we'll see the blog posts, mainly the ones that you've already done and I've designed on here. There is a products tab. We're not going to worry about that right now. I haven't set up the template to use that products tab yet. If we do find a use case for it, do let me know and I'll consider adding it. So under the blog pages, we can go and select whichever one we want, but if we go back here to all, and we want to find a specific page, I'm going to find Christorama, and it brings up all the external pages. These are all the product pages that mention Christorama in the title. But here is our landing page for Christorama. So finding and editing a landing page is as simple as using the search bar or scrolling down the page to find what page you're looking for. Inside the editor, you'll find a full visual composer. Familiar with this from WordPress, especially the new 5.0 version, you might easily get your way around. But it is based on blocks, so all we have is these sections over here, which create spacers, columns, images, videos, headers, etc. This is all standard content. With the HTML tag, you can insert raw JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, allowing it to make it fully customizable for our landing page development, especially. All these are individually done, so these links are not automated in any way, meaning that these categories are chosen on purpose and linked to specific places inside the catalog. All the content is easily editable by just clicking it and going in and editing whatever you need to do. You do get a nice little what you see is what you get editor here, so I really like that. It makes things kind of easy. All your CSS attributes can be found on the side, and I think unlike Visual Composer or WP Bakery, this is a lot more compact and sufficient. You can pretty much design anything you want, giving the flexibility of adding custom CSS or custom CSS selectors at least. This, we can change the backgrounds. You can change opacity here along the bottom slider. You can add images to the background. You can select your padding, lock and unlock, left and right and top and bottom locking. You can choose to hide it on different device widths. So these are some standard widths that the media queries do for Shogun. So you can show and hide content. I don't generally do that. It's not a good idea to hide content on mobile and give a different experience. Most of the time it is reformatted, however it is a fully responsive template. So anything that you use inside of the page builder is going to be responsive, so you don't have to worry about so much worry about checking your screen sizes. However, you do need to adjust padding, or margins to make sure spacing is correct on mobile. You can change borders, and your radius selector is here as well, so that you can make some pretty nice little shapes. What you don't have on borders, which is one thing I don't like, is you can't adjust the radius independently of the corner position. So in normal CSS we can adjust the left, right, top and bottom ones, but you can't do that here. You can add a box shadow. I don't really care for box shadows, so don't do it too often, please. The advanced, you'll find opacity. You also find min and max, or min height and max width, useful for setting some properties so that everything's aligned horizontally correctly. The CSS class attribute, if you want to inject your own CSS, that can be done under a custom HTML tag, and you can use a CSS selector on multiple objects in the page to style them automatically. When we go into finding meta tags and other content for this pages, we'll be looking at just the left-hand column. On the right-hand column, this is all style and design oriented. You'll also find a layout, so if we want to jump to a section, we can go and find it. This is useful for relaying things out. If, like, I want to find the parent of this container, I can go in here and look and see that this image is in this container here inside columns. So I could select columns and then adjust the property of this column. I will say that inserting the images and spacing is pretty much all these pages require, but obviously there's additional things like this should be set on open lightbox. So when we use this, we're using design for 99%, but you'll see a couple other things that we can do. On images, we do get a text overlay position, so we can add text here that would show up over here. So you can see it shows up right on top there. We don't want text there. Alternatively, this is your SEO title or alternate text. So SEO alt text go in the right side under style when you selected that property. So if we go and we select this image, we see the link. And please, when using links inside this system, use them relative with a / at the beginning of the URL, because we're migrating all these pages and these are independent links that we're individually setting. I don't want to have to write any JavaScript to change things or do anything bulky, so this allows us to migrate things with ease. It might not be the best in SEO, so please let me know if there's any issues that anyone becomes aware of, but as far as I'm concerned, there isn't any issue there. Alternate text can be added under style, so when you're adding alt text, just go and select the image and go on to the style tab, and we can add ceiling flush layers. Hopefully I spelled that right. And then we can go into the next one and add it there. And that's how you add alt text to the images. It's pretty straightforward. You'll find some things are buttons, and we'll get button text and button links, but there's no other attributes to add for buttons. Some of the images are embedded in sections, which means that they're a background image. This one is a good case where we have to go and search for the section. So we see it's highlighted here. I'm going to find that parent section. And here is the background image that you see under the Brioche collection. So there's no alt tag for that. That's just a background image. Additionally, when we're looking at videos, like the video here for Cursorama, we have video play parameters, but we don't have any video schema parameters. So video schema should be inserted using an HTML tag, and you can insert that at the top of the page or the bottom of the page. I've already gone through the verification process that those schema tags are recognized when inserted at the top of the page, so I recommend using that procedure. the video markup should be done on each page then. When we create a video gallery, likely that'll be the same thing where I won't use an automated resource. Instead, it will individually be placing the elements on a landing page. So please keep in mind that the video schema markup should be written for each of those. Other than that, that pretty much covers everything on page. Now if we take a look at this left-hand column and we hit page settings, we get access to the page name, the page path. Page paths, for all intensive purposes, please do not change unless notifying me beforehand. So anything with a dash landing shouldn't be changed. There are a few other pages that shouldn't be changed, but there's just a few. Other than that, we can change them, but I appreciate anyone letting me know before editing them. Here we will find our SEO tags provided by the system, and this includes our meta title, meta keywords, and meta description with a word count on there. Additionally, you have a public visibility tab here, and this will change how the page is used in the back end of BigCommerce as well as visible on the front end. There's no need to set that to visible right now. The page will still be published for page content. For blog content, we're going to walk through that in a second. You can set that to visibility. Okay, for going and creating blog pages, we're going to leave here. Oh, there's one more thing. When you go and you save a page, pushing publish will make those changes live. You can preview the live page from here. Subsequently, you could unpublish the page. Please don't set anything to home page, obviously. But other than that, those are all the options on page that you do have. So also, if you make a change, you can hit undo here and redo. I wouldn't step through too many changes, but if you misplace or mistype or paste something wrong, you can undo it, which is a nice feature of the app. So we're going to leave here and not save any changes. And the process for creating a blog page is really straightforward. All we're going to do is create a new page, new blog page, and we're going to go to blank page. Inside here there are some blog post layouts. You're free to use any of the layouts that you like, or create your own. I'll show you in a second. So we'll just name this test blog page, and you'll see it automatically creates a page path, but you can edit it and create a custom path. Okay, so you come onto the blog builder. So on the right hand side you have static content. This cannot be edited. This is a placeholder for menus and advertisements in the future. But where it says drop an element, we can go over and we can drop an element from our selection here. We can also have some predefined blocks that they build for call to actions. Some okay stuff here to use. Some social media callouts are useful. Value prop boxes are kind of useful, but this is all stuff you can build quickly inside of the composer. So here we can just drop a section. I use sections for spacer elements. So in this top one, we have a minimum height of 50 pixels. Bring it off the top of the page a little if we wanted to. I also use sections as containers for sections of content. So we can go in and we can add, let's say, 2 columns with an image to the left and text to the right. If we wanted to add a heading, we have heading attributes that we can add here. We can set alignment, we can add links, we can choose to open a new window as a new target. We can choose the heading type. These will default to the system font, so don't bother typing a font in most cases unless you want to customize it. You can set the scale, to any size you want. You can also use relative sizes here. So we want 1.5 EMs. And inserting any other content is the same. So if we want to insert a button, we can insert a button. The button will default to this full width. So if we want to insert a button that is a different size, go and insert a button that is a different size here. And now we can adjust the column and make the button a different size. We have spacing attributes within columns, so you can adjust that to make things closer together. But you can build up blocks pretty quickly like this, and if you wanted to repeat this section, all you would want to do is press this duplicate right there. So right there we can just duplicate that section, and we could add some spacing. Notice the highlights tell us where we are on the page, so I'm within the main section, and I'm going to go between those. So now I have a section within a section. And that's how we build a page. Adding the images is easy as choosing something off your page. I'm the evil genius as my gaming handle goes, so there's my little picture, my little avatar. We can edit any text, and we can edit any button text by editing here or over here. We can add the button link and set the target to be in a new window if we want to. We can also set the fonts and all the CSS attributes. So if we want to make the background a little bit different, let's go with one of those greens there. We can do that. And we can change the thing like the padding to make the button a little smaller or a little wider. And since we did that, come over here and do that. But you get to see how we can build elements really quickly. There are also forms and maps. Please don't use forms or maps. Maps will conflict with an API that I wrote for the review right now, but if you need maps for some reason, let me know. I can insert it myself. And we have icons. Icons are very useful. I'm sure people love icons. You do have to find a name, so we do have a little selection of Font Awesome and some other library, I forget which one it is. But we can insert fonts that way, and we can make them different sizes, and we can make them different colors. So we can start to see how we can build up a pretty complex page really quickly. So when we're done that, we can go over and add our page path edits if we want to. We can add our meta information, and as always, on the information on the alt tags for images can be added under style alternate tag text. So we would just go to save and to publish ultimately, and that would publish our page. And we can publish this one. I'll show you how to delete it in a second. Once the page is published, you'll get a live link, which we can go and we can see our fabulous new page and check formatting. So if we want to delete a new page or an existing page, we can go over here and we can find our page we just found and go over here and simply hit delete. Alright, so the question happens, does that make sure it gets deleted on the cart side? And we're going to go double check, and no, it's not there anymore. So just to confirm, this is our 404 landing page, so we do get the 404 error that page has been deleted. So there you go. That is creating and finding pages and blog posts within the Shogun app builder, and managing alternate tags and SEO meta tag content for brand and landing pages, as well as blog posts in Shogun. Thank you, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to